think that I'm finding my way right back to you. Yeah, I think that I'm finding my way. Thought it'd be golden, crossing the line and don't look back. But I've been sinking like a stone. Carolina, take me home. Nothing's ever really broken, and I won't let you go. 'Cause I'm finding my way right back to you. Yeah, I'll find my way back to you.
What's up? What's up? Welcome back to another live stream. And oh boy, today we have an amazing topic. We are going to literally talk about a new open source project that I'm going to start today with you all. By the way, Chad, I'm going to tell you up front, I'm going to cough everything out of me during the live stream because I'm still sick. Like, still sick after literally 10 days of my, with sore throat. And, went to the doctor again today to see if I can actually have something to fix this, like, kind of fast. but feeling way better than I was a few days ago. So thank you so much for your support, but also for, kind of being patient with me in the last few days because I wasn't able to stream. So before we start saying hi to everyone, thank you so much, Charlie French Boy, for tier 1. After 5 months, I really appreciate your support. You are absolutely awesome. Gabriel, thank you so much for subscription through Prime as well. 3 months already. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You are awesome today. That being said, who else we have here? What is happening with my Twitch stuff today? What is this drop situation on top? I have no idea. Anyways, thank you for coming, everyone. Kisa, nice to see you. Matthias, what's up? How you doing? Jeffrey Davidson, how you doing? Nice to see you. Matthias is asking, is Juning helping out tonight? Oh yeah, we are going to count with some AI assistant to help us out developing this open source project all together. And I want to show you a sneak peek of what we are building today. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? Because this stuff is absolutely awesome. Luis Cruza, what's up? Hi. Nice to see you. How you doing? Christian AZJack, what's up, dude? What's up? So I want to show you what we are going to develop today. You may actually understand some of this, all right? You might actually understand some of this. Let me know. I'm going to share my screen real quick. My goal today is develop something like this. Okay, so I'm going to open this. I'm going to create something like example.php. Let's actually make the font bigger. You guys know me. I like to have big fonts. Very, very big fonts. You guys know me. So let's go here to our, font situation real quick. I don't know what font you guys use, but me, Nuno, I do use big fonts. So let's go here, 20, reduce the music volume. Oh yeah, you guys need to help me out with the music situation. It's always a problem, the music situation. It's kind of insane. All right, how the music is now, chat. Is the music fun for you all? Let me know. Hubert, how you doing? Yeah, today we are developing Pokio. That's right. First time on the live stream? Oh, really? Yeah, I think I disabled ads. But I don't know anymore. Let me know how the music is, chat. Let me know how the music is right on YouTube chat, but also on Twitch chat, how the music is. If it is okay, let me know. So let's go here to font potentially 20. And my goal today, chat, overall sound is low. Dude, I have no idea how to fix the sound situation because it really depends of, where you are listening from. So if you are on Twitch, you will listen a little bit differently from the people from YouTube. So it's always a problem. I don't think I have ever found a solution for this, but, anyways, my goal today is develop something like this. So imagine that you have something that, a particular task which takes 1 second, all right? So take 1 second. And here I'm going to echo something like performing task 1. Okay. Just below, we have another task which will take potentially another second. Or actually, let's make this task say 2 seconds each. Something like this, and this one will take 2 seconds. And if I run this script, you guys know, this will basically take 4 seconds. Kind of the usual stuff. This is actually expected. So what I want to do, chat, this will be absolutely awesome, is do something like this for PHP. Actually, this might have to return a promise, like this. Make a little bit a la JavaScript, and then you just type await. And typically, if I were to run this, this would take just 2 seconds and not 4. What do you guys think about this idea, by the way, chat? What do you guys think about this idea? For me, it looks absolutely awesome, but let me know. I love country as well, dude. Country is my thing for programming as well. Dakshi, what's up, dude? How you doing? YouTube there, overall sound is low. Please up the mic volume a little bit, dude. Oh my god, it's literally impossible. I don't know what to do. Here we go. Mic sound a little bit higher now. I love country as well, dude. It's absolutely awesome. By the way, we are live today to Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Kick, and Twitter. So welcome everyone. If you don't know me, my name is Nuno Maduro, and today we are literally developing a new open source project from scratch. It looks way more intuitive. That's what I think. Like, I don't know if you guys saw my video about the async situation. I think the async situation, like literally using PT, because behind the scenes, we are going to use this kind of process control extension from PHP, which is insanely confusing. All right, I published a short about this. Let's see the short real quick. Here we go. Let me put here a little bit the sound off. So this is literally the short I have published about using this extension directly. And my goal is kind of developing a wrapper around this extension to make it insanely better. So this is how it feels to use the extension natively. Watch this out, chat. Something I just discovered with PHP is that we have actually a very powerful synchronous programming extension called for. So here I have a snippet which performs 10 different tasks. It goes like you would expect. PHP is synchronous by default, meaning that we have literally executing task 1, 2, until we actually execute everything. It takes about 10 seconds to effectively execute everything we see here. Now I'm going to show you something really cool that it's supported natively by PHP, and not everyone knows about this. I'm going to show you. So the only thing you have to do to, instead of taking 10 seconds and process everything at the same time in parallel, is use this extension called fork. So it starts with creating a soup process. At the very end, you exit once you are done. And at the very end of this, you actually wait for all of it. You guys see, like, using something like this is totally not understandable at all. So this is what I will try to fix with an API like async await, which is what you would see in JavaScript, for example. And I feel like everyone is familiar with that API. And honestly, I don't care if it's not true async await. I don't care if behind the scenes the CPU or memory shit. I don't care about anything as long as it is super easy to use and put in place on my existing code. So I'm going to tell you something, which is why I think I don't want to use an existing thing for past 4, because my overall idea is develop a very minimalist, simple API around this so I can use this stuff on past 4. So past 4 is this, you know, I am the creator of past PHP, you guys know that, and my goal is develop the past 4 version in the very performant way on things that are slow today. So what I will do is kind of bring this Pokio library inside past so I can use asynchronous programming or parallel programming or whatever much faster. Okay, I want to be able to execute code concurrently in the very easy and fast way that works with existing code without having me to change existing code. I just have to wrap the thing within an async and it just works. On top of that, something I want to make sure on this API is the following. I want to make sure that if the user is not able to use this extension for some reason, because it's on Windows or is on the web request, for example, I want to be able to execute these callbacks synchronously, okay? And that should happen seamlessly behind the scenes without me seeing, okay? What do you guys think about this idea, by the way? It's like GS, exactly. That's kind of my goal. It's kind of develop something that I'm super familiar with in terms of API. We have OpenSWOL. Yeah, you know, I'm going to include this on the core of past, so I cannot assume that people will have the SWOL extension installed. You know what I mean? This is cool. I agree with you, man. By the way, Iki, if you have Laravel coding projects questions, you can go to my Discord channel, which I'm going to publish for you there. Here we go. Here we go. You can use this and go to that Discord, and on that Discord, we literally have a place where you can put your ideas, all right? Yeah, one regular Laravel project, you typically would use a queue for asynchronous programming, indeed. But again, this is for library usage, so I cannot account for a queuing system behind the scenes. The async is a little bit misleading. I agree, but honestly, I don't care. It's as easy as that. How about the Go coroutine-like syntax with channels? Well, that's a little bit what Laravel is concurrency facade gives already. I want to see how far I can take this async await kind of API, because it's very, very simple to use, or at least I feel immediately familiar with. So let's see how it goes, chat. Let's see how it goes. So far, the only thing I have done is start a new library project. Let me just change the music here real quick, chat. Do I want country today? I think I want country, yes. Here we go. The goal is that this fork await PHP built-in thing will run on any PHP installation. So I want to make sure that if the user doesn't have the the necessary libraries to run this code asynchronously, I'm going to still allow the user to execute this synchronously, basically. Exactly. I think it's awesome, man. Hey GRG, how you doing? Welcome to the live stream. If you don't know me, Nuno Maduro here, PHP developer, and I love Laravel and everything in between, live streaming every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. If you don't know me, check my YouTube channel. Give me a follow over there. We are little with 16K followers already, so that makes me really, really happy. I could potentially inform the user indeed, but let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. All right, chat. Let's start with the beginnings, okay? I want to start with the beginnings. Let's go to my composer.json and actually go here and start changing some of this stuff. Let's type here Nuno Maduro Pokio. What do you think about the name Pokio, by the way? Does any of you know why did I choose the name Pokio for this? Does any of you know? Write on the chat if you do, because there is actually an explanation for the name Pokio, okay? I do have a name already. A name, no, a description. Here we go. Pokio is an asynchronous library for PHP. Oh my god, I'm so sick. Jesus Christ. So PHP asynchronous library. That's it. That's it. That's it. Let's type here potentially Pokio. Real quick, simple. Okay, what do we have here? We have Rack. What's up, dude? How you doing? We have Cavaleiro, who chased Pokemon. That was a good one. That was actually a good shot, by the way. It's not because of Pokemon. Dusky saying it's because Tokyo like Rust. Oh my god, you got it. You got it. Literally, you guys know I'm a big fan of Rust, and Rust have this library called it Tokyo, which is literally an asynchronous runtime for Rust. And you know, I just added the P instead of the T, and that's it. We have a name. I love the name, man. Hey Sven, how you doing, man? Nice to see you. Stefan is saying PHP Tokyo. Exactly. That's from Rust, so now we have that. You guys do Rust? That's awesome. That's awesome, man. That's absolutely awesome. So Pokio, PHP, asynchronous library, MIT, Nuno Maduro, blah, 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 PHP 8.4. Should we go for PHP 8.4? This is actually a great question, chat. This is actually a great question. I literally forgot to see which version I'm going with on PHP. Oh, past 4 is PHP 8.3. Past 4 is PHP 8.3, so I may have to go PHP 8.3, chat. That's right. That's right. Okay. So dev dependencies: Laravel, Pint, Pack, past 4, PHP stand Rector, var dump from Symfony, bam, 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 autoload PSF4, Nuno Maduro, Pokio. Then yeah, this looks okay. Okay, let's adjust a little bit some of the namespace. So this is Pokio. Oh yeah, some Pokio here. Tasks feature. We don't need this, do we? Oh, we need Pokio. All right. All right. This should be enough. Let's type here compose dump composer test. Is everyone happy? Not exactly. So I need to type vendor bean pint. All right. Vendor bean pint composer test. Here we go. My test suite seems super happy with the name. So that's a good thing already. Not polio, no. Mo is saying, I created a peer promoton network for open source developers. I'd really like to hear what you think about that. Yeah, man, sometimes I do streams about other people's code. So potentially, we could review your code if you want to. Carlson is saying, no, I always have a problem when I start building something that is already created. Dude, if you have an idea that already exists, just go for it. It's just the best validator possible. It means that your idea is actually good. You know what I mean? So if something already exists, but you have an idea which is very similar, but you can make it a tiny bit different, just go for it. If you see the value in your idea, that's a good thing, and people are going to love it. Okay? So for example, I do see the value on this. I am absolutely sure, but like absolutely sure, that people are going to love this. You know, people can say to me, oh, there is already Swole, there is already whatever, there is already the native behind the scenes extension is already good, there is already whatever, it's not truly synchronous. Dude, I don't care about any of that. I'm 100% sure that people are going to love this. Like 100% sure. Why? Because I love it too. That's why. You know, that's it. Rodizio, what's up, dude? Pokemon would be a good one indeed. Who else is saying, I met you at Laracani U this year. You are a great inspiration. Thank you so much. You too, man. You are awesome. Thank you. By the way, TikTokers, thank you so much for coming today. You guys have been absolutely awesome, by the way, on TikTok, so I really appreciate your support. Polio could have been a good name, though. By the way, Filament is pretty cool, by the way, chat. I love Filament. Okay, so this is good. What else do we need? An example. Do we need an example? Yeah, let's keep the example open just in case. If you just arrived, we are little developing an asynchronous library for PHP. That's right. So what do we need? We need helpers. That's the first thing. So let's call this functions or helpers.php. Chat, what? So first question, actually. Do we give access to namespaced functions? Like, do we want to give, you know, an API that looks like this? Or do we want people to literally have them globally available? So the question is, do you guys want to namespace the functions like this, or people should have them just globally available? That's actually a very good question. What do you guys think? That's a tricky one, right? I know. What do you guys think? What do you guys think, man? Agent, how you doing? Pick and Flow, what's up, dude? Welcome. Global like Laravel. Interesting. So you want to make it global. Pick and Flow, today we are developing an asynchronous library for PHP. Literally, async await a la JavaScript for PHP. Globally available. Oh, really? I thought you guys would be like namespaced because we have to in blah blah blah, and otherwise it's not pure and whatever. So globally? Oh my god. Should we go globally, chat? Oh yeah, it's very cool. I indeed. By the way, chat, write on the chat immediately if the music is okay. So I want my sound from my voice to be perfect, plus the music needs to be perfect as well. Okay, let's go with non-namespaced for now. Okay. Adrian, thank you so much, man. Another subscription through Prime, already 4 months. You are absolutely awesome. Thank you. Well, in theory, Adrian, if you type asynchronous here, if you would sleep outside of the closure, for example, it's not exactly decorative because this would be already running for 5 seconds already. You know what I mean? So, all right, let's start this with a test, okay? So I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna type functions test, and let's test the async. So I have a result which is the computation of 1 plus 1, and I expect the result to be a promise. That's right. But I think I'm gonna just do this. I have no idea if it's even possible to develop this API, chat. If it's not, will be kind of disappointing. Can you guys imagine? Oh my god. Alright, we have past happy, of course not, hopefully. Here we go. Because there is not even an async function yet. Here we go. Let's go here to source functions and write this async function. Hey Tibbleturn, how you doing? Yeah, I think Spacyfork literally builds on top of this exact extension I'm using. There is one little feature I want on this, which is the possibility of actually using this code on environments that do not have that extension behind the scenes. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? No plans to use the real keyboard, by the way. This is literally built on top of this this extension, okay? Okay, let's start with the bare minimum, which is a function. Let's type here if function does not exist, async. This will return a promise, which can be at root level. Oh yeah, promise.php. Let's start all the way top with declare string types. 1, namespace Nuno Maduro Tokyo or Pokyo. Let's actually make this just Pokyo because it's just way more sexy. Like literally, just remove my name on this. Why I would provide my name? Nobody cares about my name. Let's make this just Pokyo. Easy peasy, simple. Way more sexy, just like that. Dude, once I did literally a short where I mentioned the word sexy, and there was this guy very shocked because I was trying to sexualize my code, and that's unacceptable. Can you guys help me understand this? Because I will never understand this. Oh my god. Yeah, Konstantin, you are free to help me out on this, man. You did a great job on the pack project, so you are free to literally help me out. Yeah, the trick to make it work on Windows will basically be make it synchronous on Windows. You know, that's it. Pick and Flow, thank you so much for your support, dude. You are absolutely awesome since day one. Since day one. So I really appreciate your support. I'll be always here with to you, man. You are awesome. Yeah, let's just remove the name, like not have Nuno Maduro, but just Pokyo, you know? Just Pokyo, like this. Why is this complaining, though? Typo in Pokyo? No, 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 no. Pokyo is actually a very good name. Thank you, thank you. All right, so what else we need to do? We need to type final class promise. This will have a constructor. A promise will receive a callable, and that's it. The callable is actually something private, so let's use property promotion. Really simple, easy peasy, you know. Creates a new promise instance. Nice comments. Make my code breathe a little bit. Private callable. Why is this complaining, though? Callable? It cannot be a type. I never understood this on PHP, man. Like, literally. All right, let's make this a closure. Do you guys know why we cannot have callables as types? I will never understand this, chat. Like, literally. You know? Like, literally. Oh, Pick and Flow, thank you so much, man. I really missed, you know, like, being here. I'm still sick, to be honest. You guys can see me coughing a little bit. I'm still sick. But, you know, at some point I thought, like, all right, fuck it. I'm going to still stream. Even if I cough all the time, that's it. It should be Pokyo Pokyo. No. Why should I go Pokyo here if I can just do Pokyo? That's it. Just one. You know, there is no reason to have two. Hey, João, how you doing, man? Packages will complain about this? No. Like, literally on packages, you will see Nuno Maduro Pokyo. That's it. Will just work. By the way, chat, if you just arrived, two little things. My name is Nuno Maduro, PHP and Laravel developer. I love what I do, streaming Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. If you love my content, please give me a like below, you know, below this stuff. Give me a follow. We are literally with 16K already on YouTube. That's awesome. Give me a follow over there. My YouTube channel is absolutely crazy. And, you know, what else do I have to say? Oh, yeah. I'm developing an asynchronous library for PHP. Literally something that looks like this. Async08 a la JavaScript. Beautiful, easy peasy, so I can use this on PAST4. This code will work no matter what environment you are, even if you are on Windows, so that's kind of the goal. Final class promise, construct private callback, bam, bam, bam. This is easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Let's go all the way down. We do need to resolve the promise, so, do I want to make a little bit PHP Stan happy? No, maybe later, I think. Or not, or now, I don't know, maybe later. But I could make like generic types here, but I'm gonna do that later, I think. So public function resolve, and this will execute the callback, and that's it. This should be enough. This should be enough, chat. This should actually be enough, okay? So the function async will accept a callable, okay? Yes, we'll accept a callable. No longer Nuno Maduro on this stuff. We don't need this. And I will import promise on top so I can make this a little bit more sexy. There we go. Okay. This will return a new promise. And I do need to make sure the callable is executed by then, but I guess I'm going to do that later. I'm going to keep runs the callback and synchronously returns the promise. Yes, exactly. Why this is complaining though? Oh, this should be a closure. Okay, thank you, PHP Stan. You are awesome as well. A function exists, awaits for the resolution of the promise. Bam, bam, bam. This should be good enough, chat. At least for make my test suite happy. Let's run Winterbean Pint and see how it goes. Run my test suite and see that my test suite is not happy. Yeah, Budapest, probably the reason why I'm a little sick, it's because the weather in Budapest is much different from the weather in Portugal. So probably the reason why I'm sick, that's the reason. Junie in WebStorm. Yeah, Junie is awesome, man. I'm having a lot of fun with Junie, you know. I'm going to potentially use Junie on this project as well. That's correct. So the namespace you use within your project can be different from the package name. So this is exactly what we are doing today, you know. Hey, João, the code is about making, or the project is about making async08 in PHP. Can the callable be read-only? I think, yeah, that's a good point. Thank you. This can be literally read-only. I think that's it. So the final situation here is actually develop the await. The await will resolve the promise. I think this should be enough. Why this is not passing though? Undefined function async. Oh, I know why. Bunkers, thank you so much for tier 3. Oh my god, dude. You are awesome. Thank you so much. 5 month subscriptions already. You are supporting me since day one, dude. I really appreciate your support. Thank you. That was actually a good idea. Just make the class read-only. That's actually a very sexy idea. I like that one. All right, chat. We need to make this functions publicly available. So I think I'm going to go to composer.json, go all the way down, and I'm going to type here files. It might be just this, I guess. Let's type here composer dump real quick. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And write vendor bin passed. And my test is happy, of course. So we make the test happy, which means that at least we have this working, but we need to make it fully asynchronous a la JavaScript chat. So let's open here my Twitch chat here below, because I like to have the Twitch chat on my phone as well. Here we go, chat. Lowercase f in the functions. Ooh, thank you. That's why probably PHP Storm was complaining. Thank you. So the async test is happy. Potentially this will not end up being this. But, you know, I'm gonna make a folder with the name functions. Oops. Do I want to make a folder with the name functions? No, but I want to make a folder with the name unit. And then unit, I'm gonna have functions.test indeed. Here we go. All right, cool. Let's make a POC of this situation. At least we need to make this, all right? Just a simple POC. So let's go to promise and let's try to kind of initiate the callback on the very asynchronous way, okay? How would you call a method that will start the given callable, but not exactly, you know, wait for the return? Oh yeah, I'm literally working on an asynchronous project. That's right. The file name is case insensitive. Yeah, even on PHP, I don't know if you noticed, but you can literally have a class like this with uppercase promise or lowercase. That will not break your project. It will just work because it's case insensitive PHP names and things like that. That's it. Run maybe? Yeah, let's go with run. I may actually just rename that in the future, but let's go with run for now. Okay, let's type here void. What else do I need? Well, I need to literally use how is the name of that thing? PCNLT fork to async execution. Thank you. Thank you. Exactly. There is a few things we are going to have to resolve, like how exactly have the return value from the callback when you are in the child process. This is literally something kind of tricky to solve, but we are going to have to resolve this, you know, chat. Execute is also not bad, indeed. I think I'm going to use run for now, chat. I also think we are going to need a special class just to handle this kind of code, you know. This code is very tricky and literally impossible to understand or even explain, but definitely we're going to have a separate class just to handle this situation, okay? I think I'm going to call this just process for now, okay? Or just fork is actually a good name. Okay, let's go here, declare strict types on top, namespace Pokio. Let's then have final read-only class fork. Okay, this helps. I want to have a fork manager before even having a fork to persist a little bit this Pete's situation and kind of know when I cannot fork anymore. But this is something to care about as well. Okay, chat, now we are literally entering in the phase where I will have to crack this stuff, okay? This is literally difficult to understand a little bit, and, you know, I will be literally live cracking all this situation a little bit, you know? Hey, Richard, how you doing, man? Oh, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate your support. Carlson is saying, what do you recommend to make a deeper understanding of PHP and Laravel patterns? I think you should check Laracast, dude. It's literally the place where I have learned everything I know. So, you know, if you want to be a little bit more like me, go to Laracast because I literally learned everything I know from that place. Spassy have a package for this. I think they have a package for this indeed. All right, let's call this just fork for now. I'm gonna give the callable here, I think. Just for now, at least. Function name must be a callable, a string closure, or class implementing invocably. Oh, forgot to import this on top. All right. Communicate with the parent process with the serialized data. Okay? I don't know if you guys know, but on PHP there is this serialized function which you can use to kind of wrap results and send them as a string to different places. Okay, so we are going to use that. You can use a pipe or a socket to send data. Interesting. I'm gonna ask Junie here real quick. Using PCNLT, should I use pipe or socket to send the serialized result? Yeah, I'm using PHP Stand, dude. A big fan of PHP Stand. We are literally using PHP Stand at level max on this project. Today's project is literally an asynchronous library for PHP, something like a single way to make things 1,000 times faster. So I'm literally developing this. The goal is developing this library in a very minimal way that will work no matter what environment you are. And on top of that, I want to kind of include this library on Past 4, the new release of Past PHP. So I want to use this to kind of improve the performance in the various ways on the Past 4 project. So that's the goal. Let's change here, chat, to some sort of E-pop music, please. There we go. Here we go. Ba 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 ba. Da dun. Da dun 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 dun. Didn't they have this kind of Brazilian music? That was a good one. That was a good one. What is that? Oh, here we go. Yeah, Junie is getting better though, right? Pipes are simpler to implement. Okay, let's do that then. I have no idea what is this. Okay. Ooh. I'm gonna actually ask Junie to actually solve this problem for me. I don't even know where to place this code, so I'm gonna say go to the fork class and find a way of sending the result to the parent process to send the serialized result to the parent process of the PTCL extension. By the way, Ola, you need to literally increase the memory of PHP Stan. So I would recommend you to go with -1 so you don't have to worry about set up any memory whatsoever. Yeah, Junie will get better with time, dude. Oh, there is no exclamation point project. I'm literally developing an asynchronous library for PHP. Okay, that's kind of the goal. What is he doing already? Oh my God, what is this? Create a pipe for communication. I hope this is actually good. I have no idea. This is the stuff we don't care though. What is this? Oh. Oh. Patat Moyo, thank you so much for the subscription through Prime. 2 months already. Thank you so much for your support. You awesome, man. The keyboard I use for programming is the Mac one, this one. It's a cool one, right? I think Laravel might be using it might be using actually processes for this, I think. Like regular artisan commands processes, I think. Diogo, thank you so much for the subscription through Prime, man. You are awesome. You are awesome. Deep Vision, thank you, thank you. From Portugal? Oh, that's awesome, man. This is literally a new open source project that adds async await to PHP. And now I'm trying to get the results out of this fork extension, which I don't even know if this works, but let's see how it goes. Oh my God, it had a bunch of crap. So now we have fork in fork result. What is this? He added a new class. Okay. All right. So public function fork. I have no idea if this will work, but I guess I'm going to give this a try. He made the fork result on the same file. Jesus Christ, Junie. That's not good, Junie. Junie. Incorrect, huh? Okay, this looks good. Okay. Let's go here to my promise and let's actually remove all of this stuff. So now we can do this. Exactly. So this returns the promise or the result, I think. Let's do a DD to see what we have here. All right. Will this even run? That's actually a good question. All right, let's see. Ooh. That's not bad. Well, at least it compiles. That's not bad. Oh my God, so many new subscriptions. You guys are awesome, absolutely awesome. Tables turn. Thank you so much for the subscription through Prime. You are awesome. Thank you. Joaquin is saying, Swedish web developer student here. Welcome. Developing, programming is an awesome thing to do, man. Welcome, welcome. Joel, what's up, man? Yeah, man, if you have questions regarding literally just regular development, go to my Discord channel. It's definitely the best place. RT means 96, thank you so much for the subscription. Tier 1, and also a gifted one, so thank you, thank you. Honestly, I'm super bad with keyboards. Like, very, very bad with keyboards, so I cannot help you with this. By the way, Chad, I'm not trying Rector PHP, I'm not trying Swole, I'm not trying AMP PHP, I'm not trying anything really. I'm literally developing my own asynchronous library from scratch. Hey, Tiago, how you doing, man? Thank you so much for the subscription through Prime, 3 months already. Man, dude, we should go to a restaurant again soon, all right? Hit me a message on Telegram so we can have a nice steak together, man. I'm very familiar what asynchronous is and what it represents in PHP. That's why I'm developing my own from scratch. PHP is definitely worth to dive into in 2025. We have this awesome Laravel framework, which is, possibly the most complete web framework in the world, which gives you a very fast way of developing Laravel, just regular web applications, especially if you are a solo developer. So, that being said, what is this fork result situation that Junie made for me? Do I have to call something? I do have to call get result. So, I think I'm going to go to my promise PHP. And I'm going to have this private fork result situation all the way top. I may have to come back to refactor a little bit of this code, but this will do the job for now. This will do the job. So this fork result, did I call it just result? Oh yeah. This result equals to that. Thank you, thank you. And finally, to resolve this, we no longer just execute the callback, but we call this get result situation. It just works. Oh my god, this is the power of AI, man. Like, literally, I have no idea what this code is just doing. It really just works. It's insane. Oh my god, man. It's actually insane. So let's actually use this stuff to make sure it actually does the thing it promises. Oh my god. Alright, Chad. What am I even doing? What am I even doing? I want to go to functions test. No, yeah. I want to go here. Do I want to go here? Yeah, I want to go here. Let's type here test playground just to have some sleeps here and there, man. Okay, let's type here sync function. Let's sleep for 2 seconds. Performing task 1. Performing task 2. Okay, let's sleep here for, and let's actually, just start this stuff as promise A, and this stuff as promise B, and wait for both. I kind of want to accept an array here. Yeah, and we need to fix this. Here I'm going to accept either an array or a promise. So people can provide here an array of promises or just one. Oh, but then the result is kind of fucked up. That's right. That sucks. Okay. I'm going to accept just one for now. Or an array. I don't know. Yeah, let's go here with just one for now. So here I have to type async 1. Okay. This code is supposed not to take 4 seconds, but just 2. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. This is definitely taking 4 seconds, chat. This is not good, huh? Not good, huh? Not good, huh? Not good, huh? I'm literally working on a Mac at the moment. I haven't looked at fibers, man. Looks a very low-level implementation, so not even interested to look at that. Joaquin is saying, I hear people in my class saying that there is no web development jobs out there anymore. Dude, honestly, don't trust them, okay? Web development might look a little bit different in the future, but it will still about programming, will still about, you know, making websites, will still about software development. So honestly, don't get demotivated, man. Okay? Don't get demotivated. I will be coding until my 80s, dude. I don't even plan on retirement, honestly. Okay, chat. So here we have a problem, though. Actually, we have 2 problems. We don't see the echo, which I think is expected, but at least we see this. You know, I would expect this to take. Let's do something here. Let's type start microtime true and duration. Let's echo out this. This is definitely not supposed to wait for all this time. Yeah, okay. It's not actually doing what I want. Why is that? It's definitely forking, so it's definitely kind of executing in the background. Interesting. Do I call run on the promise? I do. Okay, I do call run on the promise, right? So if I do this, I will see that. Interesting. Adrian is saying, because you run it in serial. Can you elaborate, Adrian? Typically, you kind of know the answer always. So it would be cool to have some Adrian situation here, you know what I mean? Oh, that's a good point. Slayer is saying just echo something between lines. Thank you, thank you. So you mean here, right? So I'm going to just type something like echo in the middle. So here I expect this to be echo out immediately, by the way. Ooh. Okay, this actually might be just past, you know, being annoying. I'm going to actually move this to my example.php chat. Okay, so here I'm going to require composer and just move this a little bit here. Okay, in the start, in the middle, here will be before wait or before a wait. Okay, in the start. Okay, there is definitely a problem. So this is actually waiting for the full result. You guys see? Okay, interesting. So is this stuff actually waiting for the result? It's not. Like, what the actual fuck? I'm so confused, chat. You call await 2 times. Well, that's expected, no? If I go to the example, I wait on the promise A and I wait on the promise B. That's kind of expected, you know? What do you guys mean about what the actual fork? Exactly. Like, what the actual fork, you know? Can you show the await function? Absolutely. So I just type promise resolve, which is just result, get result. If it's already been retrieved, just return it. Yeah, this looks okay. This is serious stuff right here, chat. Serious stuff. Okay, I will have to enter on Nuno debug mode, I think. Okay, cool. We see forking process. Wait, what? Oh yeah, this makes sense. Oh, there is this set stream blocking situation, which looks like crap, man. Oh my god, okay, got you. So this is actually waiting for the execution of the callback in the serialization of the result. This is the reason, by the way, Chad. Okay. This is the reason. This set stream set blocking. So it's waiting for the pipe to be resolved. So we don't want that. We don't want that for sure. I think I'm going to move this to when we actually get the result, which would be here. So this should do it. So this will actually be blocking when we want to get the result. This makes totally sense now. We no longer need this. We no longer need this. We don't need this. Here we go. Okay, chat. What is this? Set to blocking mode to wait for data. So we don't even need this, I think. Let's see. Let's actually comment this situation. Oof. Pipe who has been closed. Oh. Okay, it's definitely not blocking anymore, which is exactly what we want. I don't think we need this anymore either. Oh, so good. All right, this is exactly what we want, chat. Exactly what we want. Check this out. So the in the start, the in the middle, plus the before await is being printed almost immediately. Then both tasks are executed in parallel, and we see 2 seconds at the end. I love it. Hey Sven, catch you next time, man. Hey Daniel Polito, how you doing? Yeah, this is, you know, kind of difficult and tricky to debug, but we got it. We got it, chat. So I definitely can clean this stuff now that Juni, it's over. Let's see if I have a passing test suite first. I do, so I can just clean all this crap now. I don't need any of this. Jesus Christ. All right, let's make this pretty now, chat. Now that we have something actually working. Okay, let's go from scratch now, okay? So, final read-only class fork, which returns a fork result. Do I want this? I think I want this, yes. All right, create a new pipe path, blah, blah, blah. Make this a little bit more, you know, pinty a little bit. Here we go. What is this? Oh, I think this was Juni creating some testing situation here. Here we go. I don't need this, I don't need this, I don't need this. Can make this a little bit better. Okay, this is good enough. This is good enough for now. I'm gonna probably come back to this and make this 1,000 times better, but this is good enough for now, I think. We don't need this. Yeah, we do need this boolean though, because this actually might be just null. So yep. Barba Papazares, thank you so much for the raid. By the way, raiders, today I'm developing a new open source project. That's right. My name is Nuno Maduro, PHP and Laravel developer, literally developing something from scratch today for the PHP world. I'm literally developing something called an async await API. So providing an async function plus an await function so people do not have to wait synchronously for that code. Thank you. Again, I'm not using Swole. I want to develop this from scratch because one of my main goals is kind of have this very minimalist API that works both asynchronously and synchronously. And, you know, I can just reuse this stuff for past, and this will work on any environment. So people don't have to have installed, you know, things like, you know, extensions or anything will just work. And on top of that, I don't have to rewrite any of the existing code because this particular extension, PCNLT, is actually, you know, works with any code you may have. So I love this situation, chat. Any drawbacks? I don't know. I think there is a small drawback, which is this extension actually copies the existing process in memory. You know, so that's one drawback. But this will be used for my test suite. You know, this will be used for the actual framework core. So I think that's fine, you know. Hey, Itzgar, what's up? How you doing? I have test cursor and I have test Juni. Currently, I'm using Juni for my stuff because it's embedded on PHP Storm, which is my favorite editor. So just works. By the way, chat, what is your favorite editor? I'm very fan of PHP Storm. I use PHP Storm for everything. What do you use personally for your own development? I work for a company called Laravel, by the way. VS Code? Are you serious? Yeah, VS Code is not bad, for sure. Higher than WebStorm, interesting. There is saying VS Code. Of course, VS Code is good. By the way, chat, did you guys saw that VS Code is planning on coming with their own AI situation? You guys saw that? VS Code AI announcement. You guys saw that today? So literally they came with an announcement that the VS Code editor will kind of become AI editor. So the things you see on Cursor and Windsurf, you are going to see them on VS Code in the future. That's kind of the goal. That's kind of the things they are aiming to. Exactly. They announced a lot of things today. I think that a bunch of you are fans of VS Code, but also the big majority of you are fans of PHP Storm, which is, I'm also, you know, I use PHP Storm for everything, really. All right, chat. So something I want to do for sure on this situation is being able to wait for 2 promises at the same time, just by providing an array, okay? So let me organize this test suite a little bit. Test async with a single promise. So that's working. So now I want to do async with multiple promises. And I want to be able to, you know, do something like this. Promise A, promise B, this will be 3, this will be 4. And I want to wait for 2 promises at the same time, just like that. Easy peasy. What do you guys expect to have here on the result? Do you think that this should be an array of results? or what you would expect to see here, by the way? Well, on JavaScript, for example, if you do something like promise all, you do get an array of results. So I think it makes sense to be an array here. So I would expect that the first position of the array to be 3 and the position 1 to be 7. What do you think, Chad? Adrian is saying, you give a tuple, you receive a tuple. Yep, I agree. Yeah, definitely want to wait for both to be over. Like, this await will wait for multiple promises. And, you know, the result needs to be a tuple as well. That's what Adrian is saying. So technically, I would be able to do something like this. Result A and result B. You know what I mean, Chat? Yeah, I think this is what we want. Okay. So if I run pint, if I run past, actually, this should fail. There we go. So await expects only one promise. So we can go to the await function and equally accept an array. This array will be an array with key as an integer and multiple promises, just like that. I can have here promises because it's a little bit more sexy. And then we can wrap the single promise on an array. There we go. And finally, we just array map them, right? I think we can array map them real quick. There we go. All right, chat. This should be it. Oof, not yet. So now the first test is not working. Dude, that's why testing is so important. Okay, chat? If you are not doing tests yet, just start doing them already. Like, literally. There is so many little tests you can do in your web applications that are so important. For example, you can literally set up a test that goes to every single web page you have and see that you are at least returning a 200, okay? So here, for example, I'm literally working on this new feature which accepts an array of promises and returns an array of results. However, while this test is passing apparently now, which is the new feature, the previous feature, which is an async with a single promise, is no longer working. So this is how powerful testing can be, okay? So it's telling me that the result is an array, even if I'm just providing one promise, which makes sense. So I can just go here, functions, and address this situation. So I think what I will do here is, if it's not an array, I'm going to resolve the given promise result. If is an array, I'm going to array map them, and that's it. Now it should be good. Here we go. Await in PHP. That's right, dude. Even if it doesn't make any sense, I'm going to still do it. Mwah. Love it. Yeah, you can absolutely watch the stream later. Go to my YouTube channel, by the way, if you want to do that. And on my YouTube channel, you go to the streams or lives tab, and you can see everything there. By the way, chat, if you don't know, I'm literally on YouTube all the time. So go to my profile right here, and you guys can see that I'm literally, you know, publishing content on my YouTube channel all the time. Give me a follow there. I'm trying to reach 20K subscribers on the next month if I am actually insanely productive, which I don't think I will be. But, you know, you guys can do that. By the way, chat, this project is already open source, so I'm going to give you the link. If you guys want to be the first ones giving a GitHub star, you can do that already, all right? Let me see if I have one. I have 5 already, all right. It won't be the first, but at least we'll be one of the many, okay? So, asynchronous library for PHP, that's what we are doing today, chat. We are actually making good progress already. And we have this example work in running, so I can literally do async promises just like that, a la JavaScript. Very easy, peasy, lemon squeezy, really just works. Yeah, man, I love JetBrains. That is something, chat. That is something we have to think about, all right? As PHP developers, something you need to be mindful of is mindful about the people who help you out. Okay? This is very important. So if you are developing a project and you have 2 equal projects, just choose the one from the company that helps you out. Honestly, JetBrains is helping PHP since day one. they are always, tweaking stuff for PHP developers, producing PHP content. As such, I'm going to help them out. Like, literally, it's like choosing, when you are choosing something, just be mindful of the people behind it, So if I have something like an agent that works the same in PHP Storm, but works the same on Cursor, I'm going to use the one from PHP Storm. Because literally, Microsoft and Cursor, what the hell they have given to PHP anyways, I don't use the Arc browser, chat. I love the content and the way you teach. Thank you, man. Thank you for the feedback, man. You have no idea how much that means to me. Thank you. You live in Czechia, that's why, because they are from Czechia, right? The company, I think they are from Czechia. Okay, chat. There is a few things we have to test here. Like, do I want to make an object for this stuff? I think I want to make an object for this. I'm going to call here something like operations. I'm going to make an object for the async and another object for the await. Because I do feel that, that stuff will actually end up being way more complicated than it is right now. So the async is still very simple at the moment, but, this will be within the destruct, just why not? Can I make? I cannot. Do I want to do that? What I'm even doing? Oh, I know what I'm doing. Okay. I know what am I doing. Yeah, I know what I'm doing. So this will receive a promise. That's right. Okay. This will receive a promise. And then on the destruct, we'll run that promise. That's right. It's exactly what I want. Make it a little bit more magical. Or runs the promise on destruct. So the reason why I'm doing this, chat, it's because I have the feeling that this async stuff will have methods. So I want to return an object instead of the actual promise. Okay. It's not that I have the feeling. I'm pretty sure about that. Although, those methods could be on the promise itself. But they do have the run and shit like that, which is a little bit internal in my opinion. I have to think about this a little bit. Yeah, I may have to think about that a little bit. Because something I don't want to expose is the ability to run just something like promise run, for example. That's why I was kind of encapsulating that over there. But, may have to think a little bit about this. Laravel is SQLite? What do you mean, dude? You can't do it without AI? What do you mean, chat? This package will work on Windows, chat, by the way. Okay? That's something I want to make sure of. I'll give you my word, this package will work on Windows. May not be fully asynchronous, but it will work on Windows. Okay. Let's work on that, actually. Okay, let's work on that a little bit. So I'm going to work here on something called environment. Namespace Pokio. Final read-only class fork, not fork, but environment. And here, I'm going to literally resolve an implementation of the synchronous depending of the environment. Yeah. So so we need to resolve a driver for the given environment. Contracts. I'm going to call this async. This will be a little interface that will do something yet to be determined. In this environment will resolve an async implementation. Exactly. If we have the extension PCNLT, then we do it through a fork. Otherwise, we do it through a regular sync implementation. Okay, so this will be sync PHP. I'm going to call this just runtime. So runtime fork, runtime sync, perfect. Final read only, blah blah blah. Gonna call this contract runtime as well. Implements runtime. So chat, by the way, the reason we need this, it's because on Windows, they don't have this extension. So we need to give them a regular synchronous implementation. So the callable, so just TLDR, on Windows, this stuff will take 4 seconds. But on macOS or on Unix systems, this will take just 2. That's it. Bhaskar is asking me, there is any reason why the functions file is lowercase? No reason whatsoever. Just in Laravel first party, or isn't Pale needed so you don't work on Windows? Exactly, Pale uses this extension so it wouldn't work on Windows indeed. What do you mean Rust piled? Exactly, so this will be used on the core of Past4, so this needs to work on Windows and on Unix, you know? Why would you say that, Smith? Why would I be Windows 8er, by the way? There's a huge problem, 72 viewers on YouTube, but just 52 likes. By the way, you're watching me from YouTube? Just put a like below and subscribe my channel, please, for God's sake. That would really appreciate that. André Neves, boa noite, how you doing? Varcel, how you doing, man? Welcome to the chat, man. Really appreciate TikTok being so supportive of my work. Thank you, thank you. Oh, because I make a joke? Yeah, man, I mean, being a content creator, I'm gonna make jokes about everything all the time. That's it. I'm here to entertain people. So, you know, I can educate you or try to teach you stuff. I can learn with you all, you know. I can also learn with you. But sometimes I'm gonna make jokes. I'm gonna say stupid stuff. That's the thing about being live. Like, if I'm live streaming, I'm gonna say stupid stuff. I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna, you know, say things I will regret afterwards because I'm literally live. I'm being myself. I cannot rehearse a 2 hours live stream. It's impossible. So I will make mistakes. I will leak stuff, like literally. I will probably leak stuff someday on my editor. So if someday I do stupid stuff like leaking something or whatever, just ignore that. All right, I ask you for that if you don't mind. Thank you, Shed. I really appreciate. Most Windows developers use WSDL, the terminal Linux for Windows. Is that actually true? I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like Windows developers, some of them use the Linux, terminal, but not all of them. I would be surprised if all of them use that. So, okay. So from the environment, we are going to resolve the runtime. I'm gonna make this some static stuff. So this will resolve the environment runtime. If this extension is loaded, we come back with fork. Otherwise, we return the new Windows runtime. I'm joking. I'm gonna go with synchronous. Oh my god, I'm so sick. Jesus Christ. You see, chat, a lot of people use PowerShell, like literally PowerShell. You know? Before Erd, I used Brew with Valet. I think once I was this close to leak some of my environment variables. I was literally this close. I was scrolling, and then when I stopped the live stream, I immediately went to check that, and I didn't actually leak anything. But once I was this close to leak environment variables on my .in file, so that was close. That was a close one. Jesus Christ. Okay, so within the promise, I'm going to resolve the engine from the environment. Runtime, and the result will be equal to runtime execute or defer. Ooh, I like the name defer. Even if it's not the defer, I like the name. Runtime defer. Do I want to call this execute or defer? I don't even know. Let's call this defer because I can. It's more technical, Okay. Cool. So something we need for sure is a defer method on this contract, which returns just a result, right? Yeah, which will be, the value object. Now I'm going to call this just fork result, but eventually this won't be anymore a fork result, but some sort of implementation that works for both fork and synchronous thing, okay? Defers the given callback to be executed in a separate process, to be executed asynchronously. Okay. Do you use all my Posh? I use all my ZSH. Aaron Francis is great at leaking stuff. Really? I didn't know that. I don't have any video about error handling Laravel yet. I'm sorry. PowerShell is shit? Why would you say? Yeah, it's shit. Oh my god, dude. I don't know if you guys know, but once I did this thing for Laravel, like Laravel console UI improvements. There we go. So I think this is the one. Yeah. So I was the guy doing this for Laravel. You guys see like this small thing like left coloring and done to the right with colors as well. So I kind of did this for Laravel probably 2 years ago. You guys have no idea how a pain it was to have this working on Windows. It was such a pain, like literally such a pain to have this working on Windows on those PowerShell terminals and things like that because nothing worked. And I do know for a fact that Jess, how is it called, the terminal situation Jess did? Prompts, I think. I think that was it. Jess prompts Laravel situation. I know for a fact that also took Jess forever because of Windows, basically. So, Indeed, Windows, you know, it's kind of old stuff. It's like the Internet Explorer sometimes. PowerShell is good shit in a good meat. If I come to Portugal, we have dinner. Yeah, absolutely, man. Just hit me up. You switch for Mac? Really? That's awesome, man. All right, the first given callback to be executed synchronously in return a fork result. So we definitely need something like for the results. I'm going to create here a contract with the name result as well. I'm going to call this just result. So we have a runtime and the runtime result. The result of the asynchronous operation. I call this just get, and this will return the actual value. So this will be mixed, at least for now. At some point, we are going to have some generics here. I don't know if you guys know, but in fact, PHP does support generics. So you can have something like template T of whatever. So at some point, we are going to have generics here. But for now, I'm going to keep it simple. Otherwise, I will spend a day on this, okay? So the runtime returns back a result, okay? So now I can actually code the implementation of this stuff. Let's type public function defer. So the sync implementation will be the simplest implementation on the planet. So the only thing I have to do is kind of execute the given callback and return a new result with that. Okay. I almost want to do a different folder for the sync and a different folder for the fork. Sync. I can call this equally sync runtime. Oh my god, so much better. So much better. And this will be a sync result. Oh my actual god. Makes so much sense to me. All right, so the sync runtime will return back a result, which will be an implementation of sync result like this. And the sync result will simply have or receive the callback like this. Okay, chat? Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, ba boom. What else we need? I do need to code this stuff. Chat, I don't know if you guys are able to follow any of what I'm doing at the moment. If you don't, I apologize, chat. But this is in fact how I actually code in real life, you know? I just speak with myself a little bit. I act like a lunatic, and that's literally how I do stuff, okay? I don't know if you guys enjoy this kind of content, but at some point, you know, content will have to be like this if I actually want to get some stuff done. So I hope you guys enjoy this kind of content. At least I do. What is this? Poke your contracts, chat. What is this? Bam, 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 bam. Thank you, thank you. Implement result, get mixed. And this will execute the callback, which is given on the constructor. Boo, 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 boo. Bam, 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 bam. What else? Oh, here is this. Then, execute the callback, get, wait, blah, blah, blah. Resolves the callback. So this is done. This still needs to be refactored, but this one at least should be working. So if I go to promise, runtime, defer that, give me back the result, and finally I just do get here. This will be just a result from the contracts. I just have to do get. Okay, this should actually work already. I still need to refactor this too on top, but should be good. All right, let's take like 3 minutes to read the chat. By the way, chat, I really appreciate being back to live stream. I love to be here with you all. You know, being sick is actually a nightmare because I cannot stream being sick. And as you guys see, I'm still coughing a little bit sometimes, but I'm super happy to be back. So thank you so much for being so supportive. Windows for games, Mac for work, the best combination. You know what? I actually use Mac for gaming. So what I use for gaming is this platform called NVIDIA Cloud Gaming. So I actually game with this stuff all the time. You know, I play Rust, which is actually a game, not the language, but the game. I play Counter-Strike. I play every single game you can think of using this stuff. Okay, you might think cloud gaming is slow. Not anymore, dude. That was like 10 years ago. Cloud gaming is actually super fast. So if you have very fast internet connection, you can actually use this stuff, and it's super fast, super good. Really just works, okay? By the way, chat, if you just arrived, Nuno Maduro here, PHP and Laravel developer, literally coding in a synchronous library for PHP. I love PHP, I love Laravel, streaming Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and I'm literally developing this asynchronous library for PHP development, which makes things 1,000 times faster. If you enjoy my content, give me a follow, like, and everything in between. Smith is saying PHP really should have native generics. I know, man. I know. We have kind of generics with PHP Stan, but it's not exactly regular generics like you would find on Java, for example. Charlie is saying, I love it. I'm learning so much. Thank you, man. Invisar is saying, I wish I could code this fast. I'm slow as hell. You are not slow, dude. It's just, you know, I don't know how old are you and how much time you have been programming already, but, you know, something age gives you is experience. And with experience, you just code. I don't know. I don't think I code fast. I think I code actually slow. But experience gives you a very confident way of actually developing code. So you don't code as much, but when you code, you actually code right. Charlie French Boy is saying, I'm proud of saying that I'm actually following. Oh my god, that's awesome, man. I don't know. Well, I'm proud of that as well. Thank you, man. I code faster than typing my native language. Me too, man. Essentials is out already, man. You can use it already. Okay, let's actually refactor now this fork situation. So this will have, or this will be called fork runtime. Okay. This will receive or have a defer method. This will implement the runtime. Can I have the comment, the beautiful comment? Thank you, thank you. So this receives a callable closure, boom, and then returns back a result. And the result will be this bad boy. I think that's it. I think that's it. We literally got it, I think. Let's see. Well, not yet, but almost. Okay, some namespaces are wrong, I think. Here we go. So this is the fork runtime because I do have this extension, so I should be here. Here we go. But if I do this, this should still work. Ooh, not yet. Okay, I need a quick way of actually hard code the runtime. So let's actually do something like, how do I actually specify this manually? I can make this a singleton as well. Yeah, let's do that. Let's type here public static runtime, which will be null by default. The environment is runtime. Cannot declare static with read only. Okay. Here I can have something like static function use fork. And I have another one below. Use sync. Oh? Oh. Wait, what? Oh, here we go. Huh? What the actual fuck? What's happening here? Why is like importing multiple stuff? Jesus Christ. Okay, we should be good now, right? Yes, we are. Okay, so use fork, use sync, and finally, if we don't have any, so here I'm going to do something like this. If there is actually this very cool feature on PHP now, which is this one. Let me show you. Self runtime equals to exactly this. And then if this is loaded, use that, otherwise use that. Boom, 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 boom. This is actually a very complicated operator to understand, but it's something like, if you don't have yet this property, just execute this. But if you do, just use whatever you have at the moment. I don't know how this is called. By the way, Chad, do you know how this operator is called in PHP? It's kind of a difficult one. Wilson is saying, I believe that generics are not there because PHP is not strict out of the box. So I think there is some efforts by the PHP Foundation team to actually bring generics to PHP. So I think we are going to see them very, very, very soon. Basha Axe is saying, what is the shortcut you use for the fuzzy finder you are using? I don't know. I think is Shift. I think. Dude, I don't even know. You mean this? Yeah, Shift. This one actually. Yeah, Shift. Ibisat is saying, does it matter if we don't write an annotation? It doesn't matter, but it looks pretty, so that's why I do. Lucas is saying, hi Nuno, how you doing, man? I can't rewind your YouTube live. Greetings from Brazil. Welcome, man. Nice to see you. You can literally go and watch my stream, post-stream on my YouTube channel if you want to. Mateus is saying, good stuff. Hey, dude, how you doing, Mateus? Nice to see you here, man. People are saying that this operator is called null coalescent assign. Interesting. I call it... How do I call this? Yeah, I don't know, man. I call this... Either is defined. If it is not, just execute whatever is in the right. I don't even know how to explain this. People are saying it's called null coalescing assign operator. Interesting. It's a very cool one, though. I would use this all the time, to be honest, on my PHP stuff. Okay, so now what I can do is I want to run my entire test suite synchronously and run my entire test suite not asynchronously, okay? So typically, I should have literally my test suite being executed twice. And for that, I need arguments. This will be a tricky one. So I want to go here. In being able to provide arguments, how do I do that, Chad? So basically, I want to have this past coverage 100%, but something like this. You know what I mean? Something that runs like this, basically. So would execute my code synchronously, but execute my test suite asynchronously. In both, would have to pass my test suite. In both will resolve different runtimes. Any ideas, Chad? Server environment variables. Dude, I absolutely love you. You are awesome. Absolutely awesome. Ismail, thank you so much for... How is it called on TikTok when someone gives you a flower? I think that's kind of a tip. I don't know if it is. If it is, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you, John Purvis. You are awesome, man. Thank you. Server environment variables. Well, you know what, Adrian? That's actually a good idea. Let's do that. Okay. So I'm going to type here runtime equals to sync. and then run my test suite. This is what you mean, Adrian? Just like this? Just this, Adrian? Mm-hmm. Okay, let's use this actually. So before all, so I'm going to go to my past PHP file. And I'm going to type past before all, provide the function. Now I need to access my server environment variable. Here we go. Accessing environment variables live on stream. Jesus fucking Christ. Just scared the shit out of me. Okay, I'm going to type runtime. That will be it. Let me see. Please do not leak everything. Oof, doesn't even run. Like, what the heck? Should I type before each? Let me see. It might die too early, though. Let's echo out, I guess. Interesting. This is using past 4. What the heck? It's not even running. So it's not because of this. Oh. Okay, let me run PHP stand. Maybe PHP stand will tell me what's happening. Or Pint, actually. So Pint is compiling, meaning there is no errors. What the heck? We don't need this. We don't need this. Wrong folder. That's why. No. What the heck? Okay, let's run PHP stand. Roberto is saying, why not running both at one? In PHP unit, you can create an abstract test case and then a separate classes for both. Oh? What do you mean? Technically, I could do like datasets. I was trying to avoid that, you know, but... Hey, João, how you doing, man? Welcome to the live stream. It's too sad that Nikita is no longer actually developing stuff for PHP anymore, but the guy was a beast. So PHP Stan is obviously complaining about a lot of things, but I think I found the problem. This is the problem. Yep. Okay, so we're back to the game. I can now have a past.php file and then have a past before all, which should obey to the dd function. So here I should see dd. What the heck? Here we go. Okay, dd. And now I'm going to dd server runtime. Okay, so I'm going to type here Pokio runtime. Pokio runtime null. Interesting. Should I type just env? Interesting. Huh. I changed the environment variable name. What the fuck am I even doing? Jesus fucking Christ. I literally forgot to type composer test unit. Otherwise, I will never use that. Here we go. Sync. It's working. Thank you, Adrian. Appreciate that. It's working, actually. Okay. So then I can do a match statement. So if you have something, then use sync. If you have fork, then use fork. Otherwise, just do nothing, and then that will resolve something, which is something else I actually want to test as well. Okay, this should be good. So if I do this, oof. Oh, what is this? What is sync callback? Oh, okay. Oh, I should do this. Sorry. Here we go. We have literally this stuff working on Windows and this stuff working on Fork. Meaning that if I were to do something like this will fail only on Windows, right? So sync is failing totally. Oh, it doesn't even go to the other one. Okay. Okay, makes sense. Let's type here actually Tokyo or Pokio. Runtime fork vendor bin pass. So this stuff, if I make a typo here, should really just works because I'm not using this driver. Oh my god. Here we go. But if I change to something like sync, now this will fail. Makes totally sense, Chad. Okay? This makes totally sense. Ba-ba-ba-boom. Adrian, appreciate your help. You're awesome, man. What Pokio means? Pokio means, well, do you know Rust? If you know Rust, it is this library called Tokyo, okay, which is an asynchronous library for Rust runtimes. And I just replaced the T with a P, which is for PHP. That's it. Lucas is saying, I've watched your Learning Go live, and then I watched your Rust for PHP developers, and now I want to learn both. That's a good sign, man. That's a good sign. I mean that you are excited to learn about programming, so that's awesome. Smithy is saying you are a genius. Thank you so much, man. Thank you, thank you. I also think it's a good idea as a name. By the way, chat, the repo is open source, so I'm going to give it to you. I want to talk about that, chat. I actually want to talk about that, okay? So, chat, just hear me out. You guys know PackPHP, right? So, PackPHP was a project that started exactly like this. Live on stream, and I had this idea. People said that I was crazy, blah, 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 the usual stuff. And then I released PackPHP, which is already with 50K total downloads, 50K, close to 400 GitHub stars, and we have 28 new contributors, okay? Although some of these people already have contributed to open source, some of them may have not, okay? So that being said, I expect Pokio to be as popular as Pack or even more. At least I'm going to use it all the time. So that being said, Pokio is a great opportunity for people like you to start doing open source development, okay? There is a bunch of things you can do. So I'm going to potentially end the live stream in like 20 minutes or something. So I'm going to push all the code. Things that will be missing, a bunch of them. The README, it's not done, so you can literally just work on the README. The banner, the GitHub logo, it's not done, so you can literally work on the logo for the project. PHP stand tests will be failing. Coverage will be failing. There will be a bunch of things to do, okay? So if you are looking into starting into the open source situation, if you want to do open source, this is your moment. You can literally just come here and start working on this stuff. And potentially, on the few next live streams, I'm going to literally just review this code for you. Now, I cannot tell you or I cannot promise you if I will keep working on Pokio for the next few live streams. However, I do have a surprise for you. Okay, I do have a surprise for you. Next Wednesday, I will be doing an interview for the Laravel Live podcast. So Matt Stauffer will be literally interviewing me live for his podcast, and I'm going to broadcast everything live from that interview, so you guys can see how exactly the Laravel podcast works behind the scenes. You can see like all the behind the scenes things. I think it'll be fun. Now, the big surprise is on the 28th May, Taylor Otwell will actually be here with us. That's right. On his actual anniversary, so it's actually his birthday, he will be here with us on this live stream. Taylor Otwell, the creator of the creator of Laravel. So I think it will be absolutely awesome to have him here with us. You guys are going to be able to do a bunch of questions to Taylor and ask him like, what he thinks about something, and I think it will be awesome. Like, absolutely awesome. I'm going to do my best to prepare myself, but I think it will be awesome. Will I get a free dinner? I don't think so. I mean, it's his birthday, not mine. So it's just crazy that the guy, like, during his anniversary, he will be spending his anniversary dinner with us, which is crazy, man. I'm so happy about that. I don't know how old he is, by the way. I think he's like 2-3 years older than me. So it's the 28th, I think. But yeah. Okay, chat. There is so much work to do here. There is something else I want to check. I want to make sure it works as expected. For example, if the given callback throws an exception, I need to actually also give that exception back to the process manager and somehow transmit that information here. So we need to work on that as well. It's priceless, dude. Yeah, I'm so happy to have him, here on the, having here with us. Yeah. Adrian is saying, sleep test with array syntax, please. What do you mean, Adrian? Google says he's 38. Oh, really? Interesting. Let's actually start cleaning a little bit of this code now. What time is it? Yeah, we can still stay a little bit more. This is actually good. Do we need this? I think this is good enough for now as well. Let's make this functions uppercase because this lowercase f is triggering my, my brain a little bit. So let's make this functions uppercase. There we go. This is looking so good in terms of organization. Check this out, chat. Result, runtime, as contracts. Both implementations can have the same contract. This is pretty cool. Environment, which resolves one of the implementations. This is actually awesome. This is how open source works, guys. Like, literally, you start with a messy code, but then somehow that stuff at the end will just make sense. This fork runtime, though, it's probably the messy one, because it was done by Juni. So, what is POSIX MK FIFO? I have literally no idea. Oh, also needs to be available. Interesting. So we probably want to add that to the environment. Let's see here. Let's ask Juni real quick. On the environment class, can you make sure the fork runtime is only used if we have the POSIX extension available? Murat is saying first in, first off for projects, for processes. What do you mean, man? Slater is asking, what did Taylor said when you accidentally push it to master, the docs change? He said, that's fine. Because I told him, like, this is what I have pushed to master, and he said it's fine. Hey, what's up, Linus? How you doing, man? By the way, chat, if you just arrived, my name is Nuno Maduro, PHP and Laravel developer, doing what I love, which is coding. And today I'm literally just working a little bit on this new asynchronous library. I'm gonna make this a little bit better. What is he doing? That's good enough. Like, leave me alone. Just stop. Thank you. Is extensions available? There we go. This is what I want. All right, perfect. That's a good one, right? Thank you, thank you. By the way, chat, if you enjoy my content, give me a follow and a like and all those cool things. Okay, this is looking good. We do have a happy test suite, I think. Let's type here, composer test unit. Here we go. Super happy test suite. I want to make sure we leave at least the fork result code a little bit more cool. Looks ass at the moment. What is this boolean? Why we need the boolean? I know why we need the boolean. Here I'm going to call this resolved. Has been resolved. A little bit better. Okay. We can equally make this... Can we? I think we can, yeah. Let's leave it as this, yeah. Result, which is null by default. If any, perfect. We don't need this, because this stuff comes as property promotion, like this. Cleaning a little bit of the code here. Why is it complaining, though? Oh, it can be read-only. Interesting, that's right. So this stuff can be read-only, but not this stuff, because this is actually changing. Gets the process ID. Why we need this, by the way? Do we need to expose this? Is this being used? Is not being used. So, goodbye. Gets a result from the child process. Okay, does make sense. How is it called? Annotation there, though. Here we go. Is this one? There we go. And so we don't need this anymore either, right? Yep, we don't. We just need the pipe path. Okay, so I need to check where this is being used. We don't need this. Perfect. Okay, looking 1,000 times better at the moment. Get, if it's resolve, just return back the result. Otherwise, just do this messy code at the moment. Here I can improve this just by doing something like this. Yeah, the PHP stand will complain the shit out of this, but I guess I'm gonna check that out after. Okay, a little bit better. How about fork runtime? Let's see. Defer the given callback, return back a result. The pipe path is equal to temp Pokio pipe. Yeah, do I want to make this like on the support class? Yeah. I want to make here a new directory with the name support. And I'm going to call this pipe path. Feels a complicated logic. It kind of deserves its own class. Final read-only pipe path. And then I'm going to have a public function or a public static function. Get, and this will be get the path to the pipe, exactly. And now I can hopefully move a little bit of this code inside of that. Pipe path, get. Here we go. Ooh. Do you guys know if I should use actually just temp or system get temporary dir? I think I should use this one, right? What do you think, chat? Luis Cross is saying you should use R extensions. Oh, you mean here. Thank you. That's a good refactor. Appreciate that. Mural is saying definitely use system get temp. Interesting. Okay, I'm going to use that one then. Because the temp directory is different in Mac. Interesting. Hey Mike, how you doing? Linus is saying, there is any reason why you use final classes in private properties? Doesn't make it harder for other people to change. That's the goal, is people don't touch on my internals. That's why I'm doing it final, so people don't touch on it, you know? Okay. So this should be it. Test's failing now, though. because reasons. Chat, I don't know if I like your change because tests are failing. Let's see. What do we have here? Wow, is this stuff normal, chat? Like var folders, whatever. Is this expected? Are you guys sure? Lucas is saying just use temp dir. What do you mean? Oh. What do you mean? Ooh, that's a good point, actually, chat. We may have to actually encrypt the result, like Laravel does, on the temporary folder, because it might have sensitive information. So we cannot persist that as a regular file. You know, the result of the callable needs to be encrypted. That's actually a very good point. Let's actually add that to the README so we don't forget. Encrypt. Let's type here to-dos. Encrypt the serialized data. I mean, in theory, we could use Laravel's serializable closure. But this stuff is for closures, but they do have support. Well, I did code this, so anyways, we do kind of encrypt the results of the closures there. I may have to use that, actually. Yeah, Diaz, I'm going to take care of that immediately, yeah. All right, let's see. Pipe path, let's actually use this stuff, so this makes sense. Stream must be resolved, but false was given. Which tests are failing at the moment? Okay, only this one. Only when you provide a sync with multiple promises. Interesting. Why would this small refactor break this, though? So confused. Oh. I know why. Exactly, the unique ID. Yeah, this is literally getting the process of the parent, not the child one. So we may have to go with this. You're right. You guys right. Here we go. Hey, Mateus, how you doing? Exactly. The pipe path wasn't unique anymore. Honestly, I know you guys are smart, but you guys look better than me programming. Like sometimes, honestly, like, you know. This is literally advanced stuff. Like even this small functions like this one, but functions like unique ID as well. The typical PHP Laravel developer, they don't know about this stuff. So you guys are definitely like ahead of people in terms of programming because people don't know about these functions. But yeah, that was the problem, by the way. The pipe needs to be unique indeed. That's a good question, chat. Should you use the directory separator like this? I used to do something like this. Implode like this. Here we go. Let's do this. Not sure if it's clear, but looks okay. There we go. Mural is saying I always use the directory separator, even though I'm sure it always runs. Interesting. Just to be sure. Gotcha. Yeah, the directory separator, I think, will give you whatever the directory separator is in your operating system. So obviously here for Mac is this one, but for Windows, it might give you a different one, you know? On PowerShell, I mean. Not on Windows, but on PowerShell. Okay. This is looking, I mean, this stuff will have to change at some point, right? Because something we may have to do is like, when we don't have, you know, enough stuff to actually make it run, we may have to default or fall back to the synchronous with an exception, you know? And obviously, like, if we have hundreds of asynchronous processes, we will be running into this exception. So we may have to work on this as well. Backwits next, thank you so much. Tier 1, man, I really appreciate for 5 months already. Appreciate your support, chat. You guys are awesome, supporting my work all the time. Thank you, thank you. All right, chat. It's 11 already p.m. Appreciate you guys being here today. Let's commit this stuff. Let's type here git commit. I'm going to just type work in progress because literally there is so many crap on this stuff. I'm going to type feed POC, okay? Because this is literally a POC. There we go. All right, chat. Please do not forget, there is so many opportunities if you want to work and improve your open source skills, okay? So again, there is the README to do, the full README to do, so you can detail a little bit the synchronous API we are providing. There is tests to write. There is a banner to do, like a logo for the project. There is PHP stand problems to fix, and I don't think there is a lot though, because the project is still very small. So if you type Bendervin PHP stand, you will see something like 8 errors. That's nothing. So you guys can fix this real quick and simple. There is something we need to think about, which is something like this. What exactly happens if we do something like this? For example, we go all the way top and we type promise equals to async, and then we throw an exception. So this is something else to think about because this exception will happen on the child process. So how exactly we handle these situations? Ideally, this would work just like in JavaScript, meaning that you would have... Wait, what? How the fuck this is even working? Oh, this is the output from the child process, right? I mean, if I do a DD here, for example, this will still work. Exactly, this is the output of the child process, so it's not even working. But ideally, what I think you guys need to do, or I will do in the future, is when the callable is executed, which will be somewhere around somewhere around here. This needs to be encapsulated within a try catch. We kind of catches everything, and this will have to pretty much be a POQ exception or whatever, where you provide the original exception, and then you serialize the result back to the parent process, and then once that is serialized, we need to literally come to to the get situation, and then we need to do a match on the type of the result. If it's an exception, we need to throw an exception. However, something we may have to think of is just like in JavaScript, is that people may have or may want to do something like catch or whatever. I don't know. Maybe we don't need this, but that's something to think about. Exceptions and how we handle them. Okay? Tony is asking, does this library works in the same way as the Laravel concurrency? There is definitely an overlap in the sense that they also, Laravel, we also use the fork as a driver. So we definitely use some of what Laravel is doing. Undeniably, I want a very minimalist library, so I don't want any dependencies. I want to be able to switch between fork and synchronous automatically without the user even seeing. So there will be an overlapping, but that's fine, I don't care about that. But at least this will fill my requirements. That's the most important thing. Two Ways just said, I just learned about something new, which is the joint paths. That's a good one, indeed. In Laravel, exactly. Chat, you are absolutely awesome. Thank you so much for coming today. We'll be back next Wednesday for the Laravel podcast interview. I think that will be a funny one. That being said, let's rate someone to see who is online at the moment doing some Laravel goodies, hopefully, or just PHP stuff. If not, let's rate anyone, really. Let's rate here Patricio on Code, which is doing AI development with Laravel, React, and Filament, apparently. So I'm going to rate him. He's awesome. Here we go. Chat, thank you so much for coming. Catch you guys next Wednesday at the same schedule next Wednesday. See you next Wednesday. That being said, peace out.